She'll be late to the plans. Still, I reach for her hand. Got a lipstick on my collar, my face. Then she fussing and laughing same day.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee Dee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another reaction video for you guys. Now, in this clip, this woman is saying that women are living in fairy tales while men are living in reality. This is an interesting one. I thought it was good to share. So I want to get y'all thoughts on this one, baby. Make sure you guys chime in the comments below. Also, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and like the content. And y'all let me know what y'all think. I definitely want to hear what you got to say, but let's go ahead and hop into the video. Here we go.
A lot of y'all need to stop listening to these content creators that are trying to tell you that a man should be 100% provider, because what they are not telling you is that you as a woman still need to make sure that you have your own. If he wants to be the 100% provider, fine. But do not lose yourself. Always, and I mean always, this is not a compromise. Have something still going for yourself. And I'm seeing a lot of women that are saying, well, I'll be a stay-at-home mom, but he has to pay me a salary. You're still depending on him. You are still depending on him, because if he wants to stop paying you that salary, he can. And I don't care if it's in writing, because listen, yes, you do have certain things that can be awarded to you because you are married, but it's not going to be handed to you, because women keep saying, well, you guys are one, you guys are, what's his is yours, what's yours is his. Y'all have to stop with this fairy tale stuff.
Yeah, now I agree that the fairy tale thing needs to stop, but I don't fully agree with especially when I'm talking about husband and wives, not just your girlfriend, not just your plaything. When you're married, then you are one. So what's yours is his, and what's his is yours. So even if you're married and you both are working, that's both of your money. But a lot of people don't move in that way in this day and age. A lot of people are separated. Their finances are separated. They don't look at it as one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are spending the way they want to spend. They're not really moving as a unit in modern marriages. And so I think people don't, that concept is, there are a small percentage of people who agree with that. But I do think that if you move in a way that you guys are working together, even if you both work, then you bring your finances together and you work together. So it's together. It's not a yours versus mine. It's ours. So if I have it, you got it. If I ain't got it, you ain't got it. We both ain't got it. So that's why you're supposed to work together and prioritize how you're going to spend your resources, what you're going to save, what you're going to invest, however you want to do it. That way it's the both of yours. But what we find oftentimes now, we find women who want to work, but they don't want to share their resources. They want to keep their money. They want him to pay everything. And it's almost as if they are planning for a rainy day. I don't think that that's a good thing for the man. I think that's a selfish thing for the woman. See, women will do that. They'll have a nest egg or a safety net and use the man till he ain't got any more, like till you done drain him dry. And then when he can't provide anything more, if he falls short, then a lot of these women just want to move on to the next. They're not willing to say, okay, you held me down, or you held us down for years. Now I still have my money. So now we can still keep moving at the same pace. A lot of women are very selfish in that way. So they don't want to they're saving their resources for their safety net. But they're looking for him to pay it all. And if he falls short, lose a job, health goes wrong, he can't do anything, can't work, then she's going to leave him and go to the next for the most part. Is she loyal enough to say, you know what, babe, I got all that money I've been saving, all that money I got. We can still keep it moving until you get on your feet. I got you. A lot of these women don't want to do that, but let's continue.
Seriously, stop, because it's not going to be handed to you. If you are a stay-at-home mom who has been fully dependent on your husband and you have nothing, you don't even have access to the money, you still have to go to court and fight for this stuff. If it was that easy, if it was that cut and dry, divorces would be very simple. It would be awarded to you within 30 days. It wouldn't take that long. Some of these divorces are very contentious. They can go on for a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, I think that, and y'all let me know, because I'm not, I've never been divorced, so I don't know how that works out, but I'm thinking like the more assets and the more money and the more things are involved, that could be drawn out. But if we're talking regular, everyday people, it wouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take years to sort out the finances. If he had a job, he had some money saved, he had some savings or whatever, automatically his wife if something happened to him. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about divorcing. If you're leaving your husband, okay, why would you leave a husband who's a full or sole provider? That's the thing. A lot of women are walking away in good positions, and then they want you to give them everything. No, I'm saying if something happened to your husband, then yeah, your wife and the children are where, the resources are going to go to. Simple as that. If he had money in the bank account, if he had savings, then that automatically is going to go to his wife and his kids. So, but if you're talking about walking away, it doesn't make any sense for a woman to walk away from a marriage where a man is the sole provider and doing everything for her. I mean, that's crazy. And in many cases, when you have stay-at-home wives, a lot of those wives know about the bank. Some of them don't. Now, I've seen situations where women don't even know how to pay a bill, don't know how to do anything. I don't advise that. I think you should know how to pay a bill. You should know where the accounts are. You should know where things are and what place they're in. So if something happened, you know how to, get into them. But other than that, I just think, no, I think for most wives who are married to their husbands and are stay-at-home wives, a lot of times those women end up in they usually are okay, because that's why the man is working so hard and doing what he's doing to make sure that his family is good. Now, if there's a situation where the man is mismanaging the funds, he's gambling the money away, he's not doing what he's supposed to do, then that could be of some concern. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it just really just depends on the dynamics of their relationship. I don't think that women should be walking around here thinking that life is a fairy tale and it's just this princess movie. No, you should be aware. And I think most men understand that as well. Most men understand, look, my wife knows this, that, and that. She does this. In many cases, the men may pay all the bills, but in some cases, the women are the ones who are paying the bills. You know what I mean? They're literally calling up or going online and paying the bills. They have the accounts, because a lot of women are more organized in that sense. A lot of women have, the organization skills to make sure all the bills are paid and laid out, even though it's coming out of the account with of the money, that the man has worked. He worked and he provided the money into the account, and the women are sometimes the ones who manage it all. So I just think really it's not a one size fits all. Once again, it's about your dynamics of your relationship, how y'all go about it. There's some women who have never paid a bill ever, and then something happens to the husband and she's set. Her and the kids are set. She don't have to worry about anything financial because he's taking care of it. So that's stuff you have to talk about with the person that you're with, and y'all have to figure out how that's going to transpire. But I think you should have a conversation about finances and all of that in your marriage, and you should be accustomed to what's going on. You have, so that you'll know. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like I said, most married women, I was a stay-at-home wife, like I said, for 20 something years. And so, yeah, I was one who managed to actually pay the bills. My husband worked and made the money, and I was the one who would pay the bills. Back in the day, we wasn't using internet so much. We didn't have the internet. You would just call and pay the bills, knew the account numbers and all that kind of stuff. So it was what it was. You know what I'm saying? But so I knew what was going on. And then, child, we had one bank account. So, know what's in the bank account. So, once again, it depends on the dynamics of your relationship. There's no one way or the other. Sometimes there are some women who live in this fairy tale world where they think that, they don't have to have any of that information or know anything about it. I do think it serves as a benefit to know how to do those things just in case, Let's continue.
Look at Cardi B, a woman who just wants to move on from her estranged husband. But look at what he's taking her through. She doesn't, if it was that cut and dry, it's okay, well, that just divide everything up, split it evenly, 50-50. Stop living a fantasy. When you are going through a separation or a divorce, people can get cutthroat. People can get very ruthless.
Yeah, I see what she's saying, but she's focused more on like divorces and stuff. I thought she was just talking about, look, in your marriage, know what I'm saying, know where the finances are and stuff like that. But of course, when you're talking about celebrities, there's more assets and things involved. So yeah, it's going to take longer. Once again, it's more involved. There's more finances involved. There's more that's involved. So it's going to take longer. But if we're talking about regular people, yeah, it may not take as long, especially like I'm saying, if there was a divorce or if something happened to the husband. But she's talking about in divorce and things of that nature. Cardi B has her own career. So she can go out and work and make money. So it's not going to be difficult for her. That's going to be different. If we're talking about everyday people, it shouldn't be that difficult. But I do think that there are women who are living in this fairy tale world, and there are men who are always, in my opinion, more realistic and live more in reality. But this is why there are men who are not oblivious to their wives knowing where their accounts are, knowing these things. They don't have a problem with that. So I don't, different strokes for different folks. You really just have to apply certain things where it needs to be applied, dealing with certain relationships and how people move. Everything, one size doesn't fit everybody. Some people, like I said, have husbands who pay all the bills and the wives never see a bill, and it goes fine. And they're not looking to get a divorce though. See, they're not trying to divorce. They're not divorcing. And by the time, if the husband passed away before she did, then she will be straight because he's going to let her know, hey, these accounts are set up, and she knows what accounts are set up and how this is going to go. And they have that planned out. So, but if you're talking about divorce, then that's something else. If you have a good man that's providing for you, why would you want to leave him? Oh my God. And then you want the most from him because you can't take care of yourself. That's crazy. And so, yeah, that's just a whole nother story. But listen, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
She'll be late to the place. Still, I reach for her hand. Got a lipstick on my collar, my face. Then she fussing and laughing same day.